Right, okay, let's get started.
I'm nervous, Cammy.
It's already recording, this is going on YouTube, so...
What? You're not going to edit it?
No, we're going to do the fun bloopers.
Okay, Slee.
Cool. Okay, right. Hello, my loves. We have a special guest today.
Hi, I'm Brooke. Nice to meet you guys.
We're also recording this for YouTube if you want a bit of a visual, because we are not in our normal... Well, I'm not in my normal space.
Oh no, me neither. I've actually done it once in my car, my podcast, just because of the kitchen construction at the minute, and I thought we don't want the drilling in the background.
That's such a good idea, because I have someone around my house right now and I feel really embarrassed.
It does. You just want to like talk openly, don't you? You don't want to feel like people are listening to you, like, who is she talking to?
And then they might look at you like on your drive, like, who is she? Why is she recording herself in the car? That's really embarrassing.
I definitely had a bit of that, but YOLO.
It's fine. We don't mind. Anyway, today we are in a multi-storey car park in Coventry, because that's like the middle ground for us.
Yeah.
And then we're going to go for lunch after we record an episode for my podcast and an episode for Brooke's podcast.
Yeah, I'm so excited. We've talked about doing this since like we first met each other, haven't we?
Which is how long ago?
I don't know, like a good few months at least, like 4 months.
Was it this year?
Yeah, definitly. Like 4 months ago,
maybe April, I think, because we went to Birmingham shopping, didn't we?
Yeah, we've actually had really cute little dates.
Do you remember that guy? But they pulled us over and was doing those TikTok videos, and he asked us,
oh my god, yeah.
And he made us like pretend, didn't he, about how much our outfits were.
Oh my god, yes,
he was like, so if you see those videos on TikTok, they're completely staged, because he came over to us and was like, tell me your outfit's worth like 100,000.
He wanted us to almost be like mimicking like rich posh girls, didn't he? That's what he said. But he's since messaged me on Instagram and been like, oh, hook me up with a deal with My Protein or something, and I was like, I just obviously didn't reply.
What? Excuse me?
He was like, I'm really interested in this deal, hook me up with them.
Oh.
Why would I do that?
I do not know.
Like, obviously they're not just gonna want to work with him just because I've said.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I can't do that.
That's so random.
I know, right?
I mean, you're gonna hook me up with My Protein if you want. Like, if you like.
If you want, no pressure though.
No pressure. Anyway, so do you want to give us a little intro? Tell us about you.
Okay, so hi, I'm Brooke Paintain. I am a content creator and I make a lot of content on self-love, fitness, body positivity, food, lifestyle, like honestly like a whole range of different things, like kind of just lifestyle with a lot of like self-love and all that kind of stuff like merged in, right? Would you say so?
I think we do kind of similar.
Yeah, like similar kind of vibe. I've been on my own like mental health journey and like journey with like bettering myself, and I feel like that's a journey that I'm always just going to be like consistently on.
Oh yeah.
And I kind of just share like every aspect of that, like especially on my podcast and YouTube, it's very like personal, and I just kind of like want you guys to feel like you can relate and like have advice from like points of my life and stuff. So that's kind of like what I do, and that's what I do full time, which I think is crazy but really cool.
Crazy?
And I love it.
I mean, people always tell me it's not a real job.
Really? See, I feel like
time.
I've got past that, which is good. Everyone knows. I think my mum actually does it for my granddad, which I think I've spoken to you about before.
Yeah,
so she
tell us who your granddad is.
So my granddad does TikTok, and my mum is basically like his manager. And so I feel like because I have that, like my mum and like family understand, because we do the same thing.
True.
But yeah, he has like 6.5 million followers on TikTok. I'm like, give me the followers.
That's how I remember seeing you on his TikTok, when you'd like make him food and stuff, and he'd like take his little videos.
Oh my god, I know, his like content is so wholesome. Like, it's really adorable, and it's just like light-hearted, which is nice. Like people can just go on there and feel like really chill and stuff, which is nice.
So cute. Right, should we get into the questions?
Yeah, let's
I'm very excited. Okay.
Same.
How would you describe yourself in 5 words?
I feel like this is such a hard thing to like ask me.
Okay, well I won't ask you then.
I'll
take it back.
No. But like 5 words, like that's quite a lot.
Okay, 3 words then.
Okay, we'll see. Okay, so I'd say I'm pretty mentally strong, so strong. I'm pretty like determined. Like I feel like I don't want to use the word, I am passionate, but like if I have my mind on something, I will like do everything I can, and like I'm always putting my all into something. So I'm saying pretty determined. And probably loving, like I love loving people and things.
You are very wholesome. Like as soon as I met Brooke, I knew that her love language was physical touch, because every single thing she'd be like, oh my gosh, like she'd say like, how are you? Oh, careful, don't bang the microphone.
Yeah, oh my god, sorry to
Just
any
hear
headphone users.
like a banging, I apologise. Like I remember she was like, how are you? I'm like, I'm good. And she was like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad you're good. It gave me like a massive hug.
No, that's what I
Congratulate
love.
me.
No, you're so
proud of
happy.
you.
Yeah, no, I just love like people being happy and like grateful and things like that just makes me really happy, and like I love seeing people like thriving, and like that makes me happy. So I'm gonna say like loving is like a word for that, you know?
I would definitely agree with that. You're very like,
thank you, queen.
very wholesome.
Oh, slay.
Okay, what are your 3 things in your routine that are non-negotiable?
Okay, so number 1 is 100% exercise. And I feel like this is different for everybody because it depends on like what your relationship is like with exercise, with your body, like your situation. And I definitely haven't always had like a perfect relationship with exercise. I feel like I've definitely done it in a way of like self-hatred, and it hasn't been like enjoyable. It hasn't been like, yeah, oh my god, I get to go and work out today. It's been like, oh my god, I have to work out today. But now like me working out is like the highlight of my day, where I can kind of just like release energy, and like it's not got strict rules where I'm like, Monday I do this, Tuesday I do this. It's like whatever feels intuitive and right for me. I can just like do what's gonna make me tired. This is weird in this car park. Yeah, so exercise really does make me, I can kind of just like release like my inner child in a way. Like I do a lot of like handstands and like fun things like that.
You need to teach me how to do that, because I don't know how to do handstands.
Well, she's working on it. I'm not going to say I'm a pro, but she's working on it.
Sorry.
So yeah, exercise is definitely, did you say non-negotiable? Yeah, a non-negotiable for me. And if I don't, I literally feel like, oh my god, I just want to go move and I want to go do something, even if that's just getting fresh air and going on a walk. Like it makes such a huge difference to me in my mental like state in the day. Another non-negotiable would be, honestly, like I know this sounds so silly, but even just making time to like watch TV with my boyfriend on the evening or something.
Yes.
I feel like that's something I've always been like, oh, I've got to be working up until like the very last minute I go to bed or something, and then if I wasn't, I'd feel almost like guilty about that. But it's actually made such a huge difference to like have a bit more of that like work-life balance.
I think what we do as well, there's such a fine line.
There really is.
You know, actually working and not working, and just being on your phone and just enjoying being on your phone.
Oh my god, 100%.
Like,
rather than scrolling for inspiration or like whatever.
I'm scrolling through going, oh actually I could do that thing.
Yeah, saving it, like putting in your notes like, oh, do this or like whatever.
Or like if you don't get something professionally, you take it personally because your brand is you.
Yeah, 100%.
So it's really hard to separate yourself from that, I guess.
Yeah, 100% agree. So I think making sure I have a work-life balance like every day is like really important to me as well, and like prioritizing times like with my boyfriend, with my friends and stuff, because without that I'm just gonna like dread every day kind of thing. And my third non-negotiable, I'd say personally for me, is eating intuitively. And I think everyone has what works for them, but personally for me and like what I've gone through, I find like it's just one less thing to have to like stress about. If I am like constantly thinking, oh, I want that chocolate bar or something, and I'm like, no, you're not allowed it, or whatever it is.
You think about it more when you do that as well.
Literally just gonna be thinking about it all day, whereas if I just eat the freaking chocolate bar, I'll be fine, and I'll be like, not have to like waste any energy on that.
I find if I'm craving something and I hold myself back, I then have like 6 of the thing I'm craving.
Oh,
because
yeah,
I've
you have
held
that
myself back.
Restrict and like eat load cycle, don't you? 100%.
Whereas when I have like, you know, I've had my breakfast, I've had my lunch, and then I get to the mid-afternoon, I'm like, oh, I'm really fancying something sweet, and I'm like, no, I'm gonna hold off till dinner, and then after dinner I have loads and loads and loads of sweets.
Yeah, 100%.
Rather than just
and you'll never
honouring
feel
my
satisfied,
craving.
will
you don't, and then you just feel a bit like, oh.
Yeah, and I think as well, like it's really nice to just eat intuitively, because every day will be different, and you don't have to think like, you know, even if you're not eating as much as what you do another day, it doesn't mean you're restricting. It just means on that day you don't want as much, or then the day after you might want like McDonald's for breakfast, like burger for lunch, but then it's like that's also okay, like accepting every version of like what you fancy on each day, exactly. And like that's okay.
Every day looks different. I always put that when I put my like what I eat in a day videos. So many people are like,
so important, isn't it?
That's too much, that's too little, that's, you know, there's not enough greens in there, there's too many greens. It's like every day it's different. I put that in the caption every time, because
It's
otherwise
so
people
important.
have to say something about it. And I get, like, obviously when you're doing content, you're putting it out there for people to say stuff, so it's kind of a given. But when it's like food, you're like, you don't see me every day, you're only seeing this tiny pocket.
And does that affect you when people say anything, or are you just literally like, it's just words, it doesn't matter?
It used to when I first started, but I feel like, I don't know, I feel like I've, you know,
You just get immune to it, don't you, in a way?
You're just like, okay, you literally, your profile picture is a cat, your account is on private, and you have 0 posts.
And I'd love to see,
Why
like,
do I care?
your perfect, like, diet for the day. Like,
Yeah,
what
I'd
are
like
you
to see
eating
what you're
that's
doing.
got, like, absolute perfection, nutritious, like, everything all day? Like,
Exactly.
it doesn't matter, does
You
it?
don't
But
have any
anyway.
right to comment on someone else.
No, literally.
But it is what it is. It's okay.
It is what it is.
We don't care. We know what we bring to the table, and we don't care if you eat with us or not.
Yeah, period.
That was like a good clip. Carry on. Right.
So yeah, they're my 3 non-negotiable.
Next question is, what is your experience with mental health, and what advice would you give someone who is struggling to start their wellness journey?
Ooh, okay. I feel like all these questions I could honestly go on for like all day. Like, they're such good questions.
Thank you, I appreciate it. I can't lie, I have like a little template that I ask people when they come on my thing, and they edit it.
That's
depending on who it is.
That works. See, because I've never had someone, like, when I was thinking of my questions, I was like, oh my god, there's literally like every question in the world I could ask. But
Exciting, it's gonna be a long episode, guys.
so my mental health journey and how I would advise people to like start their wellness journey, right? So for me, I would say I've been in like my wellness journey for the last like 3.5 years, maybe like 3 years to be fair. And the reason I got to wanting to like get myself better and feel, you know, the best version of myself is, I think it almost just got like too much, and I wanted such a happier, healthier like life for myself. Do you know what I mean?
I feel like as an outsider watching you, I feel like the turning point for you was when you had your accident.
Yeah, oh my god, 100%.
Like for me, from the things you were putting out there, because I didn't really know you then, like
yeah,
we weren't
no,
friends
literally
then.
just this year.
I was just a follower. And I remember seeing the posts you put before, and then you had your accident, and then from there I feel like you really, like, you were hosting self-love before, but like it was completely like a whole different vibe.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Oh, that's actually so cool to hear, because no one's really like said that from like a follower point of view. People have said that, people that like know me and have been close to me, like before and after kind of thing. But I'd 100% agree with that. I think like, so I went through a really bad accident. It was a car accident, and from that my mentality has changed a lot, and I've become a lot more grateful for things, and I've become a lot more like trying to have a much more like positive outlook on life, like as much as possible. Obviously we're human and we're not going to feel
good at it though. You are very, very like, you know, when like your aura just shines
oh
through
my
the
god,
thing.
my ego is like
I can see your head getting bigger. Right, should I open a window?
yeah, no, literally I'll be like but yeah, and obviously like I don't think it takes everyone to have to go through a really traumatic accident to be like that, because you're like it too, do you know what I mean? But I do think a turning point was that for me. But I think if anything, I hope I can show to you guys that, like, you know, things can be so traumatic and they can come up at any time, and like you never know what could happen. And I don't want that to like scare anybody, but it is so true.
Yeah.
And it's like,
live in the present.
Yeah, like,
appreciate what you have.
100%, like nothing is actually that deep.
Yeah,
like, it's really not.
I was saying that my friend the other day, she was having like car troubles and a few other things are happening, and I was like, right, she got upset, and I was like, right,
Yeah,
realistically, let's think about the things you can control. Your car, you know, your car's not been very nice to you at the moment. You're gonna go get it fixed. That's what you can control. You've got to get it fixed either way.
Yeah.
You know, there's nothing you can do about it, and it's just kind of focusing on what you can control rather than
definitely
trying to control the things you can't, like how people behave towards you, how other people feel about you, you know?
Yeah, and I think those sort of things, like, that is all on that person. If they want to treat you that way, if they want to behave a certain type of way, that says absolutely nothing about you, and it's literally just all them. But no, I think as well, like in moments like that, I completely like understand why your friend would feel like that, because when you're in the moment, you can't help but be like, oh, why me? Like, oh, this is so annoying. Now it's like out of like the plan of my day, like what an inconvenience. But sometimes it's just trying to like have that like mentality that like it is what it is. Like, you
It's so
can't
much
really
easier
do
said
it.
than done.
And actually, like, it's always going to be okay.
Yeah.
And in a week's time, you're not going to think about it. So, you know, ultimately, like, try not to stress about it now. But I think my main piece of advice to, like, starting your wellness journey is that, first of all, it's like so worth it. Second of all, you're probably not going to wake up one day and be like, today is the day, like, let's go, like, today we're changing my life and it's going to be better for the rest, like, forever. Like, sometimes you just have to step out of your comfort zone and make the small changes, and that is where, like, the growth will come. Yeah, all the lights, the noises, it's like, where are we? Yeah, I always say this, and I think, like, a lot of people say it too, but it's so true that growth comes when you're out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
And you've got to be uncomfy for a little bit to, like, almost embody the person you want to become before becoming that person, in a way. So act and do as you envision your higher self to.
That's literally what I always say.
It's so true. Like, sometimes you're like, oh, like, should I do this, should I not? And it's like, what would me in hopefully 10 years, or the best version of me, do or say or respond or act right now? And it's like trying to be, like, aligned with that version of yourself.
Yeah.
That's my
fake
top
it
tip.
until you make it.
Yeah,
it's
it's
basically
so
what
true.
it comes down to.
Yeah, literally.
'Cause it is so true. And I feel like when starting your wellness journey, especially, social media makes you think that, like, it's always perfect. It's always, you know, all of these girls get up at 5 in the morning, immediately take their vitamins, immediately go make themselves their green smoothie.
Yeah.
Immediately, do you know what I mean?
Do
immediately
Pilates
always
in
happy.
the morning, like, wake up glowing.
Yeah,
like,
I'm like, I wake up with one of my rollers like halfway across my head. I've got smeared mascara down, even though I did my skincare. You know?
Yeah, 100%.
Exactly.
And, like, we're not always going to wake up feeling like, you know, Barbie in the Barbie film, and she's like,
when I wake up.
yeah, like, that is just, I mean, amazing if people do. But honestly, for me, like, I don't, like, most mornings I wake up and I feel, like, a little bit anxious. I feel a bit like, oh, like, I don't really know how I feel about today. And it's like doing the small things in the day that make you feel your best, right?
Yeah, it's like go down to the, like, the basics of what make you you when you're feeling anxious.
Yeah, literally. So yeah, that's my advice.
Yeah. Oh, beautiful.
Thanks.
Right, next one is, what does your self-care routine currently look like? What do you do to fill your cup?
Oh, okay. So I love this question. Fill my cup. So
What is that reference? I think it's Emma Chamberlain.
Is it? I don't know.
I think it was her that made.
I always just kind of related it to, like, you know, like, is your cup half full or half empty? But I don't know why I related that, but I guess it's like a similar kind of thing, right?
Yeah, we got the cup there.
Yeah. So my self-care, okay, so something I do that just really, like, helps my mindset a lot, or, like, makes me feel a lot more, like, organized and, like, calm, is literally, like, tidying my space with, like, a positive, like, podcast, or maybe, like, feel good music, and I'll have, like, a little dance and sing while I'm, like, tidying up. But honestly, for me, like, a tidy space really does equal a tidy mind.
That's literally what I say all the time.
Really?
The first thing I want to do, if I'm having, you know, one of those, like, rut days
When
where
you're feeling like, oh,
I don't want to do anything.
Yeah.
I immediately get up, make my bed, tidy my room.
Yeah, you're
and
like,
then I
right,
feel like, oh,
let's get on it.
Amazing. I'm like, I'm ready to
It
go.
makes
Next
such
thing.
a huge difference. Like, I really do feel like if you're in a room that feels cluttered, like, you are going to feel cluttered. And as soon as you just have that, spend literally like 5 minutes or 10 minutes, because sometimes that's literally all it needs. Like, that can make such a huge difference.
It doesn't take long. It really doesn't
no,
take
it really
long.
doesn't, but
Not
it
if you
can
do,
feel like a big chore, can't it?
Well, yeah, it can if you build it up. I feel like I have to clean my room every day.
Yeah, me too.
Just
you have to stay on
keep
top of it.
Yeah.
100%. So I think that's something I do while listening to someone that, like, I really resonate with, or something that inspires me.
My podcast.
I was like, are you okay? No, I do, honestly. I, like, literally, like, voice noting Cammy the day being like, by the way, like, I've been listening to, like, all your episodes at the minute, and, like, there's
so many voice notes. I'm not a voice note person at all. Like, if I send you a voice note, know the world is ending. Like,
why can't you listen to them?
I'm just always doing something.
I'm so confused.
Or, like, I always get them when
At
I'm
bad
doing
timing.
something.
Yeah.
And then I think, oh, I'll listen to that later, and then I never
And
listen
then,
to
yeah,
it. And you'll be
I get
messaging me
that.
like, girl, excuse me. I'm
Hello,
like, I'm so
Cammy.
sorry.
No, I completely get that, actually. I'm just, like, such a voice noter. I'm always
Yeah,
just
you
like,
are.
oh, hey, girl, like,
It depends what it is. If
makes
I'm
so much
like-
more sense.
If I'm in a situation like something's happened, and I'm like the last time I voice noted was on whenever I last went to the gym. And are you ready for this? So you go to the gym and you have your lockers.
Yeah.
And obviously, like, you have a padlock. I bought
Right.
myself a beautiful little pink padlock.
That's
Okay.
cute.
Came with a
Very on
fabulous
brand.
password. It was 553. I'm going to tell you now. Because it's dead now, my padlock.
Oh no, why?
Because I do my workout, all happy days.
Yeah.
I go back into the changing rooms, look at my locker, and the padlock's been changed.
What?
And there's a sign on the locker saying, please come down to reception. I'm thinking,
What?
oh my days, what is going on? Because there
Your
was
padlock
reports.
is too beautiful.
Yeah, literally someone's stolen it. No, there was reports of a lady going round cutting people's padlocks and stealing stuff out of their bags, and I was thinking,
my
God.
days, no. Did you have
please,
anything like
no.
important in there?
I had my keys, my
Oh,
headphone. It was
shit.
my Pollen Paris bag. That's
Oh, hell
important
nah.
enough, okay?
Yeah.
And then I run downstairs and I'm like, girl, what's going on? Apparently this lady had a pink padlock as well, and there was a pink padlock in there that did look like mine, and she confused her locker for mine.
Right.
But I'm like, I can't lie, this is really silly. But I always go for the number 69 locker. Legit.
What?
I just always do, because then
You
I'm
got
never
a dirty
gonna,
mind.
No, it's because I'm never going to forget the number. Anyway, that's the locker I always go for.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my days.
Like, you know that was mine because it's number
Yeah.
69.
But they literally cut my padlock open, and then they open it and she goes, oh yeah, that's not my stuff.
Oh, so she was trying to put in her code
Yeah.
and it wasn't hers. Right, I understand. Because I was thinking, why would they just randomly cut it? Because she thought it was her thingy.
Exactly.
But it's because she, right.
She thought
Oh
it
my
was her
God.
thing.
Was it expensive?
It was $8.99 on
Oh,
Amazon.
bloody hell.
I know, I'm very irritated.
That was
And
an
then
investment.
they gave me a new padlock to replace it with this ugly, big, bulky
Oh.
red one. And the password
no.
is literally like 4 of the same thing.
You gotta say, no, it's not my vibe, honey.
That's what I mean. I need to work out how to change it, because apparently you can change the number on a padlock. So I need to
yeah,
work
there
out. Guys,
must
if
be
you
a
know,
way.
if you know, let me know.
Do you know
please.
what? That's actually like made me feel like I actually need to start taking that seriously, because when I go to the gym, I'll literally just pop everything in the locker with no padlock.
Well, let's not tell everyone that.
Yeah, true. Hopefully you don't come to my gym.
Gosh, that's really bad. You
I
shouldn't do
never-
that.
yeah.
What do you have in your bag though? Do you leave any valuable things?
Well,
in
I
your
might
bag?
put my keys in there.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, so, okay, yeah, next question. Did you ask me? Yeah, I can't remember.
What's your self-care routine?
Oh,
We're
yeah.
not gonna get into it. I started talking about my locker fiasco.
So I said about tidying my room.
voice notes. I don't know how we got
Oh,
into voice
that's
notes.
so
we'll have to
random.
listen back and work
Oh,
that
because you
out.
said that was the last time you did a voice note.
Yeah.
So what were you voice noting about, being like, oh my God, this just happened?
Matt, they've changed my padlock. I've lost my pink padlock. I'm so irritated. I was
Yeah, that's one of those irrational things where you're like, why me?
Yeah, no, it wasn't even why me. I was just like, this is such a security issue. What if she'd like said it was her stuff and stolen
Yeah,
all my
thank God,
stuff?
like, she was actually like, yeah,
Thank
that's
goodness
not
she was
mine.
an honest woman, because imagine
She could have just been like, oh yeah, I like that bag.
yeah, oh I like that. Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah,
thank
getting
you.
my basket.
My lucky day. I'm
Yeah.
like, no. I saved up for ages for that bag. I put money away. I was very like,
Oh yeah, and you saved up for that padlock.
and I saved up for the
Jeez.
padlock, guys. I used my Amazon Prime and everything. Anyway, it's fine.
And
Self-care
then
routine.
self-care routine. And I don't really know if you class this as like self-care, I guess, like everything I'm saying, but I guess it's like what makes me feel like I'm looking after myself. I love a bit of like me time. I think I live with my boyfriend like at home, and there's constantly like 6 people in the house like at all times, and
Do you
I
find that hard, sharing your bedroom with your boyfriend?
yeah, I think that can make it like harder with it
'Cause you
being
don't even have
cluttered
your
as
own
well.
bed.
No, literally, like I do just constantly feel like I'm constantly trying to have like a social battery, and like, do you know what I mean? Not that I feel like I have to have a social battery like Ben or like my family, but sometimes you just kind of want to walk around like in your own little world, not have to be like, hi, what are you up to? Like, you know, you just want to just, you know, do your thing.
Yeah.
And like I think that's fine. So I love, you know, taking myself off for like a little walk, or even like if I'm in the car, like, and I'll put on the
Do you
music.
have a dog?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah, look. She's a little Jack Russell, but she doesn't look like a Jack Russell. Everyone thinks she's a sausage dog, which is really weird.
Oh, okay.
I'll show you her in a bit.
Okay.
And yeah, so walk, or yeah, even if I'm in my car, like putting up the music and literally just singing my heart out, like that is literally self-care to me.
Yeah, I agree with that.
You know
it
what I
releases
mean?
endorphins, doesn't it? Having a little dance
yeah,
party.
it can literally completely change my mood. Like if I'm feeling a bit and then I go out and I listen to really good music, go and like have a good gym session, and then like come back, I'll literally and then like have a really lovely like shower. Honestly, I've always had this since I've been like a baby. Showers literally wash away the bad vibes for me.
Do you think?
100%, like especially a cold one. I mean,
they say if you don't like yourself, have a shower. No, if you feel like you hate yourself, have a shower. If you feel like everyone hates you, do something else.
I've never heard that.
I can't remember what it is. And then if you feel like everyone hates everyone, go outside. And if you feel like you hate everyone, compliment. I can't even remember what the quote is now. That's
oh my gosh, you need to look at that. That sounds quite good.
It's like a really easy solutions. But I think the one where you say, you know, if you feel like everyone hates everyone, go outside, because it is true. I feel like
just get a bit of space.
Maybe in
yourself.
A little village it's true. I feel like everyone says hello, how are you to everyone.
Yeah.
Maybe not in like a town centre. I feel like when I go in the town centre, I'm like,
oh yeah, literally you just think about everyone else around you, aren't you?
I'm like, don't look at me, don't look at me.
Yeah, well, we'll get them people coming up doing the like things that we had in Birmingham.
Yeah. How much does your outfit cost?
Yeah, we have to be like, yeah, so this was 10 grand.
Yeah, my Adidas shoes were £700,000.
Yeah, literally. Okay. That was ridiculous, wasn't it?
That was hilarious.
But yeah, what else? What was I just saying? I can't remember now. No, what was I saying?
Walk, shower,
A shower. Yes. Oh my god, this
episode is literally
huge
going to just be all of us going, what was that?
I know, because we keep going off on tangents. Yeah, no, honestly, a huge one for me. Like, ever since I've been a little girl, my mum actually told me this quite recently. Like, I think I had like a migraine or something, and I was like, oh, I'm just gonna go and have a shower. I think that'll make me feel better. She was like, you know, you've literally done that since you've been a little girl. Like, even if I would wake up in the middle of the night if I had a cold, I would go and get a shower when I was like 7. Like, just because I'd be, and then I think placebo, because I didn't understand that actually couldn't help. I'd then be like, oh, I feel way better now, mummy, like I'm fine.
Well, it's like paracetamol used to be sugar cubes, didn't it? It never used to
really
actually be
oh my god, I never
like
knew
an actual
either.
painful thing, but it was your brain. You'd feel
once
like,
you believe it, like you genuinely think it. So I think now, like, as I've got older, I've also just got that thing, like, if I don't feel well, like, go and have a shower, and I'll literally like use all my favorite products, like everything that I feel like is nice quality and like makes me feel like special, like luxurious, on special days. Yeah. And get into comfy, like, quality clothes, like clothes that just make you feel
Victoria's
nice.
Secret pajamas.
Victoria's Secret, or like, you know, like a nice, like my Abercrombie joggers, like they're a go-to. Like things that just make me feel comfy, but also make me feel like I'm wearing like something nice.
Do you know when we got those? We were in there.
That was a bargain.
Section.
Yeah.
And you tried on about 100,000
I couldn't decide out of like 2 sizes as well, so I just kept like putting them on and off and on and off. But it was like over my leggings, not in a changing room, wasn't it?
Yeah, we were literally doing it in the middle of the store. Was this in Birmingham? I think it was in Birmingham.
No,
was it
Westfield.
London, it was, Westfield.
That was nice though, wasn't it?
It was a fun day. I felt like my legs killed after that day though.
We were walking everywhere.
We did reformer Pilates.
Oh, yes. Oh my god, we did. I feel like that was a separate day for some reason.
It was just a very long day. We went to Nobu Pilates. No, we went for breakfast, then we went to Nobu Pilates. Yeah. Then we went for lunch at Chipotle, and then we went shopping, and then we came home.
That was gorgeous. That was a really nice day.
Oh, we had that cake. No, I didn't get the cake, did I? I got ice cream.
Oh,
and I was thinking, I was literally...
The profiterole cake.
I was craving that so bad.
Did you wish you got it?
No. Because then I
at least you had the ice cream.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the ice cream was still really good.
Yeah. Anyway, Abercrombie.
Yeah, so just that kind of thing, like have some you time and just clean your space, put on some good music, have a nice shower, use nice products, put on comfy clothes. Like that to me is just like the epitome of self-care. And then go and eat some like yummy food and watch like Selling Sunset or something. Like that to me would just change my mood.
Pizza. Go get a
takeaway. Oh hell yeah.
Oh.
What do you have on your pizza? Are you boring or not? I'm boring.
What do you get?
I'd either go plain margarita or just add a bit of chicken.
Really?
Yeah.
I know, see, I would do, if I could just choose the toppings, well, I'd have chicken, ham, mushrooms, sweet corn and pepper.
See, wow.
Maybe a bit of red onion if I'm feeling super cheeky.
That is impressive.
And stuffed crust.
Ooh,
and the garlic.
Beautiful.
You know, the garlic seasoning.
Hell yeah.
Crust.
Oh yeah, I do. I feel like I would like that. I like a plain pizza for some reason.
I could see that though. Sometimes I just fancy a pepperoni.
Yeah.
Or I have to have my, if I was going to have a margarita, it would still be like a 4-cheese one or something like that.
Right, it has to have a little something about it.
A little bit of flair, you know.
A little bit of something.
Next question is, what would you say to your 16-year-old self?
Oh, well, I'd say this is like...
How long ago were you 16? How old are you now?
19. So 3 years ago.
Yeah.
So that's technically when I started, like, you know, the change from feeling like at my absolute lowest and like physically and mentally, and then starting to go through like the beginning of like recovery for like my eating disorder, and also like what I was struggling with mentally with everything else. And so I would say to her that it's gonna be okay, like everything will get better, and also that I would remind myself that I'm not a bad person, because I would always think like I'm crazy, or like there's something wrong with me, or that like I was mean because, you know, I was way under fueling myself, so my hormones were completely off. Like I was also, you know, in the peak of where I'd be kind of like teenagery anyway.
But you know, at that age you don't actually have any empathy.
Oh really?
Your empathy is not fully developed. So like when my sister was about 15, 16, she's so mean. And I used to say to my mum, like, why is she being so mean? She was like, you were exactly like that your age.
No,
because you haven't fully developed your empathy. You don't remember it because you don't feel bad for it, because that was just how you were, I guess.
But I did. I did feel bad. Yeah, I always would feel like, oh my god, I'm a horrible person, I'm a horrible daughter, like I feel so bad, like I'm so mean to everyone, like everyone's gonna think like this
You're
of me.
making up for now.
No, thanks. So I would just remind myself that like I wasn't a bad person, like I was literally just poorly, essentially. And
so how would you advise someone to gain a positive attitude towards food?
Ooh, okay, so I feel like this is much easier said than done if you've got a bad relationship with food. But remembering that food is literally fuel to like fuel a happy life, like, and without the food you're not going to have the energy to like even do your daily tasks. And I'd also say that like there's no good and bad food, essentially. Like you know, you're not just gonna say like, oh, I can't eat ice cream because it's bad, or I can't eat this because it's bad, or oh, I'm gonna eat this because that's good food. Like, you know, there's nothing wrong with having a balance and having a bit of that and a bit of that and a bit of that, and like the more variety of food you eat, the better, essentially. And like I think as soon as you take away that label and you take away the numbers from food, and food is purely just food, like it makes it so much more enjoyable. You're not going to be able to get away from it because you need to eat every day. Like you're gonna have, it's either you choose to have this mental battle every day of your life, or you like start putting into action, like, you know, eat intuitively, like what do I actually fancy, like listening to myself, like, you know, this food and this food are the same. Like I don't know how to describe it, because I think my brain would always be like, oh no, I should have this because it's this many calories and because it's more nutritionally dense or something. But there's nothing wrong if you just want some fries with it, like cool. Like if that's what you fancy, you're then not going to be thinking about it a lot more, like what we've just said.
Honour your cravings.
Honour your cravings.
And eat with intention.
Yes! Oh my god, 100%. But just taking that first step and being consistent. And also, the sooner you take that first step, the sooner you're gonna have a better relationship with it. If you keep putting it off and putting it off, it's only gonna get harder for when you actually do take that step. Because it's only gonna get worse. Like the longer you leave it, the worse it's gonna get, which means the harder it's gonna be to start. And think, like, if you start now, you could look back in a couple of years and be like, oh my god, I'm so glad. Or you could wait in 2 years and then you'll be like, oh my god, I wish I just started 2 years ago, that kind of thing. And like you always, once you start, you'll wish you started earlier, kind of thing. Like
it's with like anything on your wellness journey, I feel like when you feel the benefits of, you know, moving your body and taking care of yourself, you're like, oh my gosh, why did I not do this sooner?
Yeah,
it's so much fun.
You will, yeah, you'll wish you started earlier. And I feel like the only way you'll know that is by trying and seeing for yourself.